People are not going to fight them back because obviously they are the one having the power. They can hire and they can fire anyone anytime. Yep. Next one we go into B, the social dominance theory. Let's talk about social dominance theory. We look in terms of the social. Okay, socials we consist of groups, as we have spoken about, we have talked about in the past tutorial. Now when we have group, of course it is always natural for us to be better than other people. We want to be better than other people. We even want to be better than other groups. Okay, now social dominance orientation is the degree of individual acceptance and also the desire for group-based social hierarchy and the domination of inferior, the smaller groups, by the superior groups, the bigger groups. Okay, now again it is very personality based. Okay, now mostly this culture sets in the group itself. It doesn't set within the individual. The individual is not powerful enough to support this theory. Okay, it needs the group of people to support this theory. Next one, there is a scale to test your SDO. Okay, you can have a high or you can have a low SDO. Next one, in today's world, everyone wants to be distinctive. Okay, that's why they don't mind spending millions or spending thousands to buy a Dato ship. Okay, to buy this ship and to buy that ship. Okay, and we have a special, we even buy our own car plate number. The number 1, it means we are rich and we are in a high level. Okay, if I have a car plate number of 4444, it means I'm too poor to get my own number. Okay, and Dato, okay, this put us in a higher level than other people. Okay, this shows, I mean, it's part of discrimination as well. Next one, we have a realistic conflict theory. But a realistic conflict theory, we look at more realistically, which is the relationship between a social group. When we have social group, and the issue here is that the earth has limited resources, but we have to compete over them. So this results in conflict between groups. Okay, we try to be better than other groups. So the social group would influence the behavior and also the attitude of individual. Okay. Now, sometimes we don't have to make it so ugly. We don't have to make it so bad. We don't have to fight. There is sometimes something called negotiation. Not necessary I win, you lose. Okay. It is important to even educate our children since young. It is not all about winning. It is more of teamwork. If you look in terms of leadership, okay, it is not about the one-man show. It is about the whole group. Okay, to make a concert successful, to make the F1 team wins the F1 race. It is not just the driver. Okay. Now, sometimes we can use these things where we need cooperation. Try to make things that needs cooperation. This is called, we can do it through achieving a superordinate goals. Okay. Now, which means we need cooperations. Okay. Now, therefore, we would have the win-win solution, and we don't need to make one group more superior than the other. Or next one, we can have a positive interdependence. This one, it means that the other group is necessary. Okay. It means I need you to survive and you need me to survive. It is very good in this business world. That's why they have something called, they want to merge the companies together. Big companies, they merge together. We have seen over years, okay? Now, you don't have to necessarily, if you own a company, try to think in that way. You don't really have to fight with other people. What you can do, you can cooperate with other people. You can share the person's expertise, and you can ask that person to share your expertise as well. Okay, and when your group is big enough in the business world, you would see it flourish yourself. You don't really have to fight. Okay, if I have a chicken shop, if I have a chicken rice shop, and my neighbor has a chicken rice shop, and we have chicken rice shop, and just below our house, not below our house, below our apartment. Okay, and we don't really have to fight. Okay, we don't have to fight among us. Okay, we can instead just benefit each other by just having cooperation together and achieving, a better result. Okay, most often we don't think about that. Okay, we have seen in newspapers about two mamak stores, nasi kandar store. They want to fight about the names or the lands. Okay, I'm not sure about that. Yeah. Next one is the social identity theory. We call it the SIT SIT. Okay. Now, because you belong to a group in this world and this earth, okay, you are expected to behave accordingly to the norms of the social group, okay? That's why it is important to have a good leader, because having a good leader would ensure that the members or the culture or the setting of the group behaving in a positive way. But if you have rather a negative or an extremist leader, you would see that the whole group, the whole people in that group behave the same way. Okay. Now, it is difficult to depart from this identity, the social identity, because if you go against the party, if you go against, the group, you would suffer huge consequences in it. Okay. Now, if you go according to it, of course, you are in line with your positive social identity. Now, we go back to the questions. We have talked about social discrimination, prejudice. Now, the question is it real or is it a perception? Sometimes it is true, okay? And sometimes it is what we think, okay? Sometimes when we are treated in that way, sometimes we think about, am I treated because I'm a lady, or am I treated because it just happened to anyone? Okay? Sometimes it's real, sometimes it's not. Okay? Just be aware of that. Just be aware of that. Now, for the practical side of it, for the practical use that you can use is that, now when we want to reduce a discrimination or prejudice, okay, the first thing that you can use, this is very beneficial for your company, for your group, or for your teamwork if you want to make it successful. Okay, the first one is try to make a mutual interdependence. If possible, try to group two people that they totally hate each other. Try to group them together and put them in a team. You might have two outcomes. You might have a disaster, or you might have the best presentation or the best result. Okay. But if you can, just try to put them together. Mutual interdependence. Firstly, it means that you have to put them in a situation where that they depend on one another. Okay, one might be responsible for giving ideas. One might be trying to realize it. Okay, they must be independent. Interdependent, depending on each other. Okay. After that, try to exist a common goal between them. If you want them to reduce their stereotypes, you can have a common goal in them, okay? And trying to achieve a presentation or trying to present a proposal, this can be a common goal that you can achieve, okay? Next one, of course, you have to be aware of is you have to give them an equal status. Try not to put them having one is the leader and when one is not the leader. Again, this would result in a different level, okay? So if you put them in an equal status, you would see that they are really just working together alongside trying to reach a common goal, okay? The fourth one, it has to be a bit informal and also interpersonal. When we take things a little bit more informal, we look at other people as of the friendship, okay? And also interpersonal. It has things, it is related to us, okay?